Welcome to Strong and Steady, where we talk about building strength, supporting your health, and choosing sustainable wellness for women in every season of life.
And I'm Brittany. I'm here with my co-host, Jessica. She's a mom of 4 littles with such a grounded, realistic approach to balance for low-tox living. She helps busy moms build healthy habits that actually work in real life without perfection or overwhelm.
And I'm Jessica, here with Brittany, a woman's health and fitness coach who specializes in elite aging. She helps women build strong bones and muscles so they can live their whole lives to the fullest with confidence, strength, and independence.
And together, we have over 2 decades specializing in the health and fitness industry. So whether you're in the thick of young motherhood
or focused on staying strong for the long run,
we are so glad you're here. Hey y'all, we are so excited that you are here again listening to the Strong and Steady podcast. And it is Brittany, and I am so excited about this topic, which I know I may say that like every time. But when I say that I'm truly excited about these topics, I actually am, because I am a nerd at heart who loves all things health and wellness. And this is one of the absolute foundations of health. If we can get this, then we can get pretty much everything else. And that today we're going to be talking about hydration and water. I know it's a very, very simple and basic concept, but it is essential. Like, you cannot live fully, have the best health unless you are drinking water. But it's not just, okay, yeah, sure, Brittany, whatever. I drink plenty of water, whatever. No, we're going to be deep diving into the quality of water, why it's important, and how certain water doesn't count, if you know what I mean. Brown water does not count. Sorry to burst anybody's bubble, but coffee and tea do not count as water, even though it has water in it. Well, soda does too, and that's really horrible for you. So let's go over, first we're going to talk about how much water you actually need. My rule of thumb for all of my clients is that you want about half of your body weight in ounces of water. So for some people that means 75 ounces. But also, though, with that is that if you are working out, you're sweating, for some people, they can literally sweat literally a gallon during a workout. And so it's almost like, okay, if I'm doing that, then I need another gallon of water. And I'm not saying that you have to drink a whole gallon of water extra if you work out, but you definitely have to listen to your body on this. And then also, so as far as like what hydrates you, it's not just fluids. Like, we were taught back in the 80s and 90s, like, oh, it's just the fluids. It counts and everything. But no, there are only certain things that hydrate you, and then some of them actually dehydrate you. So you're looking at like tea and coffee. Those are diuretics. Those are going to dehydrate you. But also though, and people may not like me for saying this, but sorry, but truth hurts sometimes, is that if you have a cup of coffee, well, guess what? You have to add a cup of water to your daily intake to offset that cup of coffee. So it's not about the total amount of fluids per day. It's literally about water and electrolyte type of drinks that are really going to help hydrate you better. Another thing with water to make you actually like absorb it, because that's the other thing, is that you can go in and you can actually drink too much water and you can flush out all the electrolytes, all the potassium, sodium, and all of those minerals because you're just drinking too much water. And so it's very important to, what I teach my clients is that before they drink their glass of water, they literally can take like 1 or 2, 3 or 4 little things of Celtic sea salt or Baja salt, and they can literally like put that on your tongue and then start drinking. And that's going to help you absorb better. You can also do trace minerals into your water. And then I know Jessica, she's going to get into all the fun stuff about tap water and how we just can't do that anymore. But
Well,
then
real quick
also,
too,
oh
with
yeah.
the salt. So you've said that before, and I got the Celtic salt. I got like the fine one, and I've been pouring it in my water, and like I have been noticing the difference of like how I am feeling more hydrated. And it was funny too when you said you can drink too much water, because that was one of the kids' questions today. I think it was my second one. He's like, "Can you drink too much water?" And I think I said at the time I was like, "No," because I just wanted him to drink water. And our oldest goes, "You can go 3 days without drinking water." I'm like, "No, no, no, you cannot." I'm like, "That's like survivor mode. You have to drink water every single day. Go drink water." He's like, "But you can." I was like, "No, no, no, no."
Just because you can survive does not mean that it is good for
Yeah.
you. Like, you can eat a Twinkie a day and survive, but is that healthy? No,
No.
no, it's not. Yeah, yeah, and it's crazy. Like, so I drink a ton of water. I am a camel. Like, I'm sorry, but you do not want to be stuck in a desert with me.
No.
I'm fine with not eating. Like, whatever. Like, look, I'll be good. But if you're like, oh, Brittany, you have to ration your water, I'm gonna be like, crazy full. I'm out. I'm out. Don't, no, we're done. And I actually irritate my husband sometimes too because it's like I love going to concerts, but there was a
Mhm.
bottle of water. Like we went to a concert the other day, $9 for a Aquafina bottle of
Yep.
water. And I was like, sorry, I'm really thirsty. I'm breastfeeding. I need my water. Like, I don't get coffee. I just need water.
Yep.
And yeah, it irritates him. But I'm like, well, I got to survive. I don't want a headache and I need to feel good.
Well,
And
and you
that's
said that too with the breastfeeding. Like, if we're breastfeeding, we need even more water as well too. Which, yeah, just like you said,
yeah,
feel like a camel.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And the other thing is like it is that hydration is so important for not just like, oh, hey, I need to drink water. It's good for me. It's what everybody tells me to do. But I kid you not, it is literally about brain function. Your brain is literally like made up of water. Like it's a huge amount of water that is in your brain. And and I'm not even joking, but if we don't drink water for like I think it's like an hour to 3 hours, it can seriously deplete how your brain is literally functioning. And so if you have a lot of brain fog, any of that, it can literally be from dehydration and even headaches. Like, I'm a bad person, or like I'm a person, I never get headaches unless I'm dehydrated.
Mhm.
And then also it really affects how your body like work like when you're working out and everything. And if you're dehydrated, it's going to make your workouts suck a lot more, which nobody wants that. It's like,
Nope.
okay, I'm already doing this, it already sucks. But if you're not hydrated, then that is really going to affect your performance in your workout. Also water supports like circulation. And so we obviously really need circulation. Like you think about all of the cells in your body, they're supposed to be fluid and malleable and everything. And so when we're dehydrated, it actually affects that. And then it's like we literally start to like dry up. It's really important for your skin, also for your digestion. Again, everything's supposed to be fluid and malleable, but if we are not drinking enough water, then we can tend to have more like constipation. So you have to have water. Also temperature regulation. So, your body sweats and that's literally like water getting secreting out of out of your body, and it's going to cool you down. That is the meaning of sweat. That is what it's there for, is that we have to cool our body down. And it's funny though because we're in or I'm in South Texas, and we have like 120-degree weather in the summer. And most of the time it's better for you to have like, let's say, like room temperature water.
Mhm.
But the thing is that for us in Texas, it gets so hot. And I have literally had clients that have almost passed out because of the heat, where they're still drinking water, but it's just that room temperature water, and they switch to like cold water, and literally they have no issues with passing out because it helps cool their body down,
Mm.
just by switching out the temperature. And so, I'm not saying one is wrong or right. Both of them are very good for certain times and certain goals that you have. And so obviously detoxification, you've got to have water to detox. You're not going to be detoxing with soda, FYI. So, and then also nutrient transport is very important for your water. Like a lot of the nutrients are like water soluble, like you hear fat soluble. So if you are taking a certain vitamin, that is fat soluble, you need to have some sort of fat. So like olive oil, coconut oil, avocado, that type of thing to eat with it. So that way your body can absorb it and then also move it to where it needs to go. Well, a lot of them are water soluble. And so that's why it's very important for you to have enough water.
Yeah, you were talking too with the like detoxing, and it made me think of like the skin, like drinking the water then helps hydrate your skin. You're, detoxing, hydrating your skin, and you're getting that glow again. I was talking with some other friends, and they were going through a period of time where like they were drinking a gallon of water, and they're like, "Yeah, I felt great. Like, I had more energy. I was sleeping better. Like, my skin was awesome." And so, just seeing like how much something so simple as water affects our body, like, is it's incredible to me. Um, but with that, it is important to look at the quality of our water too, not just quantity. And so with tap water, I've learned that it can include things like chlorine, heavy metals, PFAS, or like forever chemicals, pesticide residue, microplastics, some even fluoride. And so that's why a lot of people, including like ourselves, have switched to a filtered water. And when you're switching to that, what you want to look for, because not all filters are the same. Some remove more things than others. And so, like the basic filter or basic pitcher filters, like a lot of ones you buy at Walmart, you just stick in your fridge. Why they do reduce chlorine and like help improve taste and remove contaminants, they don't remove some of kind of the bigger ones as well. And so looking at a little bit more quality, it is going to be more expensive, but in the long run, like it's going to help your health, it's going to be good. So you're looking for ones that also remove a wide range of contaminants, remove those heavy metals, the PFASs, and you also want ones that have independent testing. I've seen some videos too where like they, pour in water that has like food coloring in it, and the filter is able to even like filter out the food coloring. And so like those are definitely some higher quality ones. But again, like you want to make sure it has that independent testing, because why I love to trust people, we all know videos nowadays. You want that independent testing on the side as well. Another thing is the reverse osmosis and minerals. And so, reverse osmosis filtration, they can remove a very high percentage of contaminants, which is awesome. But some of them will also remove those natural minerals. Like you were talking about, Brittany, like we need those minerals still. And so that's why some will either come with a remineralization. I cannot say that. Um, It'll put the minerals back in, or people will just like buy it on the side and add it back in yourself. Um, and so, like minerals that help stay hydrated are magnesium, potassium, the sodium, like Brittany was talking about with the salt, and calcium. But again, make sure calcium, you're not taking it by itself. Check out our other episode about that if you haven't yet. And so, yeah, you're wanting to put those minerals back in and get those electrolytes. That way, your body can actually absorb the water into the cells. So, like I said, you can do that with the salt Brittany was mentioning, and we'll link that in the show notes as well. Electrolyte powders are another great way. Just make sure like they're dye free, like no sugar. You want to make sure they are a good quality one as well. You can also get trace mineral drops. And so that's really good, especially for like athletes or people who are sweating a lot, and those like using the filters that are like really purifying the water and taking all of that out.
Yeah. Well, and another thing that I personally like to do that helps hydrate you along with that water, and I do this every single morning, um, because the thing is like your kidneys are one of those filtration systems in your body. and it actually wakes up 15 minutes before you do, and it starts detoxing things.
Oh, wow.
So it's very important to be drinking water first thing in the morning, before your coffee, before your breakfast. But I will say this is having room temperature or warm lemon water, like actually cutting, slicing a lemon, putting it in there, and then putting a little bit of that Celtic sea salt. This is going to help your minerals. This is going to help you hydrate faster. This actually does help with your hydration, or sorry, your digestive system too, is the lemon water. It's very, very good for that. And it also helps alkalize your body. So if you're too acidic, then lemon water can actually help with that. And that's a great way to start adding things back in. And if you're a person where you're like, okay, fine, I will drink water. I know it's good for me, but I just don't like the taste of it. Well, doing infused water is an amazing
Mm,
way to start getting that back in. Like having organic blueberries. Do make sure that they are organic
yes.
blueberries, cucumbers, lemon, even putting there was like a strawberry basil
Mm-hmm.
infused water that I had one time. It was so good. But that's a great way to get that in. And then Jessica, can you touch a little bit on about the PFASs? I have a hard time saying that too. But as far as like, I guess you could say like the bottled water. Like I guess you could say like with the plastics and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll touch on that too, but you were saying like with the lemon water, that's actually one thing Spencer has started doing is he's been adding water and the kids have even started asking for it too. They're like, "Dad, I want a slice of lemon like you." And so just like being reminded that like how we are taking care of our body, that's what our kids are seeing and they are going to repeat that. But yes, plastic water bottles. So this is one I've honestly, I mean, I've heard probably since middle or high school, but it just never really clicked, never really understood it. I was like, no, you don't really want to drink plastic water bottles. I'm like, they're easy. I'm going to grab it. We're going to go. And, people are like, oh, they sit out in the sun. And at first I was like, okay, so like, it's fine. I was still in that phase, like, we're all going to die. We're fine anyways. And now I'm like, nope, not the right mindset. Like, we want to be mindful of taking care of our bodies, and that's one way to do it. So the plastic water bottles, first of all, I mean, most of them are single use anyways, which just isn't as good for the planet either. But they also can shed the microplastics and leach chemicals, especially when they're heated. So a lot of these water bottles, you think like they're not going from a like nice air conditioned plant in like a refrigerated truck. Like no, they're sitting on a truck in the heat, traveling sometimes across country, and they are being heated up. And when they're heated, that's when they're leaching these chemicals, these microplastics, and then when we drink it, that's going into our body. I mean, I saw something recently. It said in our brain, it was something equivalent to like a one plastic spoon's worth of plastic in our brain. And like that is crazy. Like that's not just our body, that's just in the brain alone. And that's definitely going to affect us. Like I don't know about you, thinking especially postpartum and with 4 kids is already hard. Let's add plastic in our brain. Like no, no, we do not want that. And so some alternatives, like we've switched pretty much all of our water bottles to stainless steel. You can even get like glass ones that have the silicone sleeves. That honestly, we tried giving it to one of our kids because it was like, oh, toddler proof. She broke 2 in less than a week. So, kids, I would say stick with stainless steel. And I mean, I have not found one that is like 100% every part of it stainless steel. There is going to be some plastic on it, but like we do our best to make sure like it's not the mouthpiece because our kids like to chew on it, and so we don't want them chewing the plastic because that's the other thing with bottles. Like I feel like a lot of people, at least the ones I'm around, they like to chew. So you drink the plastic water bottle, then you chew on it. Or like growing up, it was pop the cap in your mouth and chew on that because you can't chew gum in school. But and so like stainless steel water bottles or glass water bottles are a great alternative as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. And I love how like simple it can be. And I will say this is like I know you may be looking at like water filters and be like, "Oh my gosh, that is so expensive." I don't know if we can do it. But I will say this is that there's very few things that I splurge on, I guess you could say. Just, being very frugal and everything. But it's very important for your water. Like you think about this is that they are going worldwide to dig wells so these people can have fresh, clean water. And it is very important for all of us to have that, to have fresh, clean water. And I will say this is like with tap water, with all of the chlorine and everything, is that it actually does affect your thyroid. It affects your hormones and everything. I say a few years back, but back in 2017, Hurricane Harvey had hit where I live. And so, we're having to drink the water bottles that had been sitting out in the sun. And then also we had, I'm trying to think, we're like filling up our bottles. We finally had water, so we're filling up our bottles. And I kid you not, the water was white with all of that chlorine. And very coincidentally, I guess you could say, there were literally like 5 people after Harvey that I personally knew that were having thyroid problems, that had thyroid cancer, that had all of these problems because, and I truly believe that it was correlated to the tap water. And then you also think, now, this is something that is a goal of ours. We don't have it yet, but having a filtration system for your house, because you think your skin is your biggest organ. And I'm not trying to like scare anybody, because I'm like, we all gotta live. We all have to live a semi normal life, as much as all the bougie stuff would be amazing. But this is something that we're working towards. But your skin is your biggest organ, and so when you are bathing in that water, you're literally absorbing it too. And that's another thing that, if you go back to our gut health podcast, then this is one of the reasons why we have to have good gut health and good liver health, because we need to support that detoxification, because we can't always have the best of the best when it comes to water filters, because sometimes you're out and you're going to the 7-Eleven and you just have to have a plastic bottle. I understand that. And so this is kind of like a correlation of why we need to do that.
Like you were saying too, with the water filtration in the house, I've also found like, because I'm like, one day I would love to have a whole house water filtration, but like you said, right now, like we're just not able to do that. So we have one on our sink, and I like, it's a little like spout. It's kind of like its own little water fountain, and so like it's easy for the kids to use too. But we also got a shower head filter, so it's not the whole house, but like for showering and the kids with baths, we're able to filter that water as well, just to, like you were saying, help our skin and help our health as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, and I love that, how it's very simple, and y'all just think it's not all or nothing, but it's one thing at a
Mm-hmm.
time. And I would definitely suggest, starting with your drinking water. We will link in the show notes a few, I guess you could say, like, filters that we suggest. But then, switching your water bottle, that is a very simple, easy fix. To switch that, like she said, stainless steel, and then start switching out those shower
Mm-hmm.
heads and everything. Just slow and steady wins the race, because as much as we would all like to do it all at once, it's not sustainable, and a lot of times it's not always possible. But anyway, thank y'all so much for joining us today, for learning about water and all of the things. We are so excited that you are here, and thank y'all so much for listening. We will link all that stuff in the show notes, and you can also reach out to us on Instagram and let us know what stuck out to you the most, what you are excited about changing in your house, or things that you have already learned about water that you have been implementing for a while. But thank y'all again, and we will see you next time.
We want to leave you with this one last thought. It comes from John 7:38. Whoever believes in me, as scripture has said, rivers of living water will flow from within them.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If this episode resonated with you, we'd love for you to come hang out with us over on Instagram. You can find us at The Strong and Steady. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe and share this episode with a friend. We'll see you next time on Strong and Steady.